Rome wakes beneath a wash of pale gold. From the Palatine Hill to the bustling Sabura, the city stirs. But in the quiet corners of the Forum, where shadows cling to ancient stone, a tension hums beneath the surface. A low thrum of obligations owed and power coveted. The Republic dresses itself in the illusion of eternity, its marble colonnades a testament to order. But behind this facade, private ambitions prepare for the day's subtle wars, fought not with swords, but with words and influence. In the markets, the day's commerce begins. The great avenue, the Via Sacra, exhales the scent of empire. Spices from the east, leather from the legions, incense from the temples. Even the sound of a child's laughter seems to carry a fragile note, highlighting the unspoken unease. In a shadowed portico, the symbols of authority rest, the eagle standards of the legions and the fasces. They are instruments of law, but also of force. Today their duty will cut deeper than iron, not on a foreign battlefield, but in the very heart of the Senate. Steps climb toward destiny, each one a deliberate ascent toward the chambers of power. With every footfall on the hard marble, a line of history is written that no decree from the Senate will ever erase. But it is in the shadows that the real work is done. Whispers breed where light cannot reach. Cloaks are drawn close, not against the chill, but to conceal conspiracy. Here the fear of one man's power transforms into a collective, deadly resolve. A secret message is opened. A seal cracks. A choice hardens into an irrevocable commitment. Under the fine linen of a senatorial toga, a blade waits. The air grows heavy, charged with unspoken words and unseen threats. All of Rome, unknowingly, holds its breath. The faces of the conspirators remain serene, disciplined masks of patrician calm. But inside, their hearts drum a frantic rhythm. Portents and warnings pass by unheeded, dismissed in the face of what they see as a necessary, patriotic act. The door to history swings open. A blade of harsh white light slices through the interior gloom, sharp and sudden, like judgment itself. Across the chamber, eyes meet in a final, silent confirmation. A hand clenches a hidden hilt. They told themselves they struck for the Republic, for liberty, but they struck not for freedom, but for fear. Fear of what one man had become and what he might yet be. The lictors, his bodyguards, clear the way. The laurel wreath on his head flashes in the light, not a crown, but seen as a promise of one. Caesar's profile, etched with the campaigns of a lifetime, reveals nothing. Does he sense the shift in the air, the sudden chill in the room? March 15th, 44 BC, the Ides of March, the day Rome, in an act of self-mutilation, killed its greatest son. The lictors are pushed aside by the throng of senators. The white togas of the Senate billow and surge around him, a corridor of honor transforming into a trap. There is no escape. A senator, Tillius Cimber, presents a scroll, a petition for his exiled brother. The ink is benign, but the gesture is the fatal line. As Caesar takes the scroll, he crosses the final threshold. The world seems to slow, the ambient noise narrowing to a single pulsing heartbeat, counting down the last seconds of the Roman Republic. Inside Pompey's theater, marble listens better than men. Echo answers caution. The air is heavy, thick with unspoken intentions and the scent of cold stone. Every shadow seems to hold its breath, waiting for a signal that will unravel the Republic. White togas converge like tides, a deliberate, inexorable current pulling toward a single point. The center cannot step away. He is an island, and the sea is rising, not with reverence, but with a chilling, unified purpose. Hands arrange the scene, a choreography of betrayal. Loyalty, once a shield, now tightens into a circle with no exits. The lictors, symbols of his authority, are blocked at the threshold, rendered powerless spectators to the unfolding sacrilege. Fabric whispers, a soft rustle that masks the hard truth beneath. Fingers find hilts, the cold promise of bronze and iron hidden in the folds of senatorial robes. Prayers, once offered for his safety, now evaporate in warm, conspiratorial breath. He inhales cold stone, the sudden chill of understanding. The weather turns indoors. Breath fogs resolve. In this moment, he is not a god, not a king, but a man cornered by his own countrymen, his ambition measured against their fear. An eye hardens, the glint of recognition turning to resignation. Prophecy completes its slow, unblinking arc. The soothsayer's warning, once dismissed, now rings with the clarity of a death knell. Knuckles pale on bronze, a stark contrast of flesh and metal. No gore is shown, only will sharpened to a point, a collective resolve forged in secret meetings and whispered oaths. He counts familiar faces, friends, allies, men who broke bread at his table. They wear necessary lies and practiced grief, their expressions a mask for the violent act they are about to commit. Cloaks surge forward, a wave of white wool and dark intent. The world collapses to the frantic pulse in his ears and the low, guttural chant that is not a prayer, but a verdict. He grips the bench, seeking purchase in a world that has lost its foundation. Strength leaks away like sand through fingers, his power dissolving into the cold marble floor. Witnesses lock their jaws, their faces etched with a mixture of horror and grim satisfaction. History writes in clenched, unerasable ink, each silent observer a signatory to the deed. They struck not for freedom, but for fear. Fear of a king, fear of a future they could not control, fear that the republic they claimed to save was already a ghost. Laurel loosens, the symbol of victory undone. Triumph slides toward legend, toward the terrible, immutable price of greatness. His breath grows shallow, each gasp a final protest.
Et tu, brute? Brother, why this circle? The air tastes of iron. My name feels heavy on your tongue. This was not the Rome we dreamed of. This was not the honor we swore to uphold. Voices rise like smoke, a chaotic chorus of justification and panic. Faces blur to halos at the edge of light, their features lost in the enormity of their action. Marble is cold against my skin. I steady myself gently, as if Rome itself were fragile, as if one wrong move could shatter the city I built. I fold carefully, pull in my toga over my face, because dignity must outlive my breath. The final act is not for their eyes, but for history's. Sandals scrape on stone. They recoil from the thing they have made, a sudden shared realization of the void they have created. The clamour dies, replaced by a silence more damning than any shout. My wreath lies still, a fallen crown on the cold floor. Dust drifts down in a single shaft of light, a soft shroud for a dead ambition. Stone looks past me, past the blood and the betrayal. The world keeps turning, indifferent to the fall of great men. Pompey's statue bears silent, impassive witness. Silhouettes freeze, statues of their own making. A distant gull sketches my elegy in the air, a lonely cry over a city that has just lost its heart.
March 15th, 44 BC. The day Rome killed its greatest son and in doing so gave birth to an empire. March 15th, 44 BC. Remember, fear crowns no republic. It only builds a throne for the next tyrant.